I am Will, your host, and today's topic is going to be about SHIB and the prospects of SHIB. Um, like I said before, we will not talk about earning projections or price projections. The only reason why is because nobody knows exactly when this is going to take off, and that's the thing. You have no idea when. You know it's going to, but you have no idea when. It's when markets start to realize just the power of SHIB. Anyway, without further ado, we'll get into today's session. And we are live! Everybody, how are you guys doing out there? I'm looking forward to having this little chat with everybody, and good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night from wherever you are in the world, and big shout out to everybody. And thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Major Investor. So today's topic is SHIB and where we're headed. From now, reason why I don't do these podcasts very often is because news comes out every single day about SHIB, but whether or not it's worth reporting on is, a whole different matter. And like I said earlier in the video is where we headed. So we took a big dive on the markets. As you can plainly see, we've done some consolidating here at the 1100s, and then we're doing some more consolidating at the 800 to 700. By the way, you'd have to go back 2 years to get this price. You could have got it last year because it was oversold then, but you could have got it at 759. 5 zeros, 759. Yeah, that was the lowest it went. And then you had to go back a whole year to get that price. So this is 2 years in a row where it's dipped down to its all-time lows. Basically, it's sitting at that same low pattern. And this is where most people like to dollar cost average now. And there's been a big spread of 285 trillion coins being spread. So this is a huge opportunity that no one took advantage of in the marketplaces as far as businesses, banks, or anybody for that matter is taking advantage of. And like I said before, this is a time bomb just waiting to go off because they just don't realize the power of SHIB. And the reason why that is because for right now, we have Koi, who is burning SHIB. We have Blaze, who are burning SHIB on a weekly basis. Okay, so Monday is their burn projections for those that are coming out and burning SHIB. Now they're burning about 1.6 billion coins, and Koi is burning about almost 1 billion coins a week. So they were burning over 1 billion after 3 days, but that because of the volume was continually going up on Koi and Blaze. So as long as the volumes are there, the burns are there. But this is only 2 coins, guys. Only 2 coins. I don't know why this isn't being covered this way, but if it's only 2 coins, think about it. There's 50,000 projects going on right now, or 5,000 projects. If you do the math on it and say, okay, 5,000 projects, they do 1 billion burn per week, each of them, how much is that? Well, 5,000 times 1 billion is how many? That's 5 trillion coins a week being burnt off. That is massive. So that gives you some idea of the power of SHIB, but that doesn't give you the whole spectrum. For instance, in order to get solidified, like Blaze and Koi and the rest of the coins, to get solidified, they have to build on how they're going to use their coins. How are they going to be being utilized? So in order to be utilized, you have to have some sort of solidification. So in order to be solidified, or we call it bona fide, right, in the markets, when you're dealing with stocks, when you get bona fide means that you're worth X amount of dollars. So in order to be worth X amount of dollars, you have to make X amount of dollars. So the more that people use your tokens or your coins, the more you get solidified. So if people are using them to buy cars, vehicles, gas, etc., then it's being utilized. That's what it means. And that gives them utility because it's being utilized through the world so they can buy it. So right now, SHIB can be used in 300 plus companies worldwide and 130 exchanges. So that, it gives you an idea of just how powerful SHIB can be, but it doesn't give you the breakdown of what SHIB can be. Because it's so small, people won't utilize it as far as buying and selling goods and services. It's just not feasible for anybody to buy and sell because it's too low. Right now, we need that to go up to at least $1 in order for it to be solidified that way. In order for it to get solidified that way, we either have everybody buy at least 1 million SHIB, and we only need 300 million people or 100 million people to buy SHIB, or 200 million people to buy SHIB, and then we're buy 1 million SHIB. And then you get solidified that way. That way there would drive the price up to at least $1. Once it reaches that $1, it's good to go. People will start using it as a currency that they can exchange. Until we get to that point where it's kind of like on a free flow level. So it won't build on itself, but what happens is the banks are in trouble in the US. The currency is in trouble in Japan and the US, big time. Greece is in trouble. Tokyo's in trouble. Not Tokyo, sorry. Greece, Spain, France, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, they're all in trouble. They all need a way to get out of debt. In order for them to get out of debt, they'd have to take a chance. With SHIB, it only cost them about $12 billion, and they could liquidate 99.99%. Now, people would say that would be a really dumb idea, because why would they liquidate? Well, the reason why they liquidate, it drives up the price. Remember what I said before. It needs to go to $1. So in order to get to $1, they would have to reduce the supply to get to over $1. When they reduce the supply to about 5 billion tokens, now people will start utilizing that token because now it's worth whatever they put the market at. So they would instantly put that at like $1,200 per token. So then people start using it and buying parts of it, and then it would still be burnt off because they don't want to pay taxes. So in order to avoid paying taxes, they would burn off X amount depending on how much they owe for taxes. Because it's better to burn it, get the utility to the organization that helped you build your wealth. So then it builds everybody else's wealth. So they would burn a portion of their investment depending on how much they would owe the government. So they would write it off as a capital loss. And then therefore they wouldn't have to pay the government. They would have their money, and then they would have everybody in the SHIB community would benefit from it. So it's a way of paying it forward to the rest of the people that are already holding it. And that's why SHIB is so powerful. And helping you get the message out there and presenting it helps everybody achieve their financial goals. And that's my 2 cents for today. And anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe to this channel so that we can keep these videos going. Because without you or I, we can't promote SHIB. And we can't, it'll take longer to get there. That's the whole point. So the more we get the media behind it and exploit SHIB for everything that it can be, and I'm only touching on the surface of this. I'm sure there's better and more exciting ways. And I put out on Twitter, so we go through Twitter. It's amazing what you get on Twitter these days. But there I am. So it's BW4Invest is my Twitter account, and I got the face of Jesus Christ. So this was the face of Jesus Christ that was presented by a movie and a girl from the UK. That when they had a vision, that was the vision they had of Jesus Christ. 2 different eyes, a short, about 5'7", 5'9", fellow when they went to heaven. Anyway, without further ado, that's the whole thing. We all wish everybody the best, good health and well-being, live long and prosper, and thanks be to Lord Jesus Christ, and God bless each and every single one of you that tune in, and those that don't tune in. I just want to wish you all the best. Love you all, take good care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you later. Anyway, wish you all the very best, and good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon.